Hello, hello. Hi there, good evening to everyone. Oh, that's quite loud. My name's Penny Lyons. I'm the General Manager at MediaWorks More FM here in Taupō. Welcome along to everyone. MediaWorks is one of the sponsors for this year's Stella Awards, which we're really excited about. And one of the reasons I'm really excited about is to see a whole lot of new faces that I've never seen before. I've never seen at Business After Fives, or I've never seen at Business Awards. And a big thank you to Town Centre Taupō and Taupō Chamber of Commerce and Industry for putting this together, because I think the merits of getting everyone along to these sessions are fantastic. So a really warm welcome for from those two organisations for our third workshop tonight, which is all about dollars and cents, which I know sounds a bit freaky talking about dollars and profit and all that kind of business, but I've just sat through the last session and it was great. So we're going to give you a sneak peek about the reality of actually running a business. How much money does your boss really make? What happens to the profit? And what impact can you as a team member make on your business, whether or not it survives or thrives? We've got two fantastic speakers tonight. We've got Nick, and I'm not going to say her second name because I thought she was Matthew McConaughey's wife, but I got her name completely wrong. So Nick from Stretton, she's the business manager at Stretton's, as I said, and currently sits on the board of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Nick started life as an accountant at KPMG, then moved into management roles at Genesis Energy as the CEO of Energy Online. And again, take from Nick, she's got some fantastic tips on just being real in business, and she really understands what it actually means when a customer walks away 100% happy. Sean Venell, who I don't really need to introduce. Sean's been in our industry in a long time through his business at Quality Print and also through the Business Awards. Sean, through Quality Print, and himself and his team have taken the awards out twice, in 2009 and 2011, which for any business here in Taupō that have actually filled out the Business Awards entry will know that that's a really mean feat. So Sean is going to talk to you and share some of his tips on what a really good customer satisfaction experience to him is all about. He is giving away pockets full of cash because I saw it coming out in the first session, so I do say to you, listen out to him because he's going to give out some prizes. Enjoy your evening, and again, thank you for all of those that are participating within the awards. It'll be a great night when we come to the awards night. Now we've got a little short clip from Jerry Maguire.
No sound, Pen.
I'll tell you how I'm sweating, dude. I'm sweating my contract. I'm sweating Bob Sugar calling me, telling me I'm missing the big endorsements by being with you. That's how I'm sweating. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I hear what you're saying, and that's why I've called.
No. I hear that you hear what I'm saying, but do you truly hear what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying, Daddy.
Hey, maybe the best thing is that we get together in person. Rod, I'm sorry, would you mind holding? I just got someone.
Didn't you tell my wife more personal attention? Did you not tell my wife more personal attention?
I said more personal attention.
Good, because we just getting started on my list of things you need to know. You can take notes if you want to.
I will kill for you. I will maim for you. I will rape and pillage for you.
I am a valuable commodity. I go across the middle. I see a dude coming at me, trying to kill me. I tell myself, get killed, catch the ball. Booyah, touchdown, I make miracles happen.
I just need to know, are you in or are you out?
I'm from Arizona, Jerry. I broke Arizona records.
Rod!
I went to Arizona State.
Rod!
I'm a sun devil, man.
And now you want Arizona dollars.
Exactly.
I understand what you're
Jerry,
saying,
I'm
Rod.
sitting here with an air problem. I got ants going up and down my hallway. My brother TP's room is flooded.
Rod!
We got a flood in TP's room, Jerry. Hang on. Say hello to Jerry Maguire.
Rod, listen.
Hello, Brother Maguire.
Hello.
Jerry, my house is falling apart. Nobody's looking out for Rod Tidwell. We don't know when we're going to live in a year. And I'm supposed to be a superstar, man.
Rod, hey, I need a decision from you. Are you in or are you out?
You're going to be so happy you stayed with Bob Sugar, because I am the fucking Terminator. I am a role model, Jerry. I have a family to support. Hear me? I want to stay in Arizona. I want my new contract. But I like you. Yes, I like you, Jerry. My wife likes you. You're good to my wife. I will stay with you.
That's great. I'm great. Happy.
Are you listening?
Yes.
That's what we'll do for you. God bless you, Jerry. But this is what you're going to do for me. You listen? Jerry?
Yeah, what can I do for you, Ron? You just tell me what can I do for you.
It's a very personal, very important thing. Hell, it's a family matter. Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Here it is. Show me the money.
Jerry, here's mine. No, show you the money.
Show me the money!
Show me the money.
Yeah! Louder!
Show me the money.
That's it, bro! I can smell that shit!
Show me the money.
I need to feel you, Jerry!
Show me the money.
Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money! Show me the money! You love this black man! I love this black man! Show me the money! I love black people! I love black people! Motherfucker, Jerry! You right, motherfucker! What you gonna do, Jerry? Show me the money! Congratulations, you're still my agent.
Anybody had a day like that? Poor old Jerry Maguire. So a little bit about the story. It was touting for business. Obviously the lights on the phone, and Jerry's lights were dimming and less lights. He was losing clients. So the big guy ended up getting signed for $8 million. It's an incredibly invigorating story. It's a great watch. If you haven't watched it, make sure you get it. And so the purpose of it was to sort of show that passion. I love the player's passion for what he wants, and I love Jerry's passion all through the program for actually what he wanted to try and achieve. And the whole story is about Jerry just really delivering what was needed. So yeah, big day in the office by the look of it. But money, show me the money.
Yeah.
The right pocket's $50. 50. Printed that today. It should be dry. The very best Jerry Maguire, show me the money, as we saw there, earns $50 right now. Can I have a volunteer? Boys, girls. Well, the boy in the last show did extremely well, just about blew some people out there. So one person is $50. This is the Nigel. Yeah, Nigel. So this come up. This is actually judged by the audience.
Do it in the microphone.
Show me the money, brother. Show me the money! What do you think?
Easy. Thanks, Sean.
Yours. So you've got a quiet audience, and you come in and you sort of sit down and that. And so that's what I'm trying to get at, is a little bit of that passion that you should show during your day. And look what we achieved just by showing the money. Reason for the Business Award. So you're here, session 3. Really good crew. This is the second, 140 people. We had 100 for the first one. So this year is really strong. Good to see. So 2008, Taupo judged very poorly in customer service, the whole town. Napier City came over. There was a van load of them. Snuck into town on a weekend. They did the place over. They reported back to Kylie Hawker, town centre, and they said, your town's shit. So, it wasn't good. Kylie, the board, got together and said, what can we, how can we address that? And that's where the customer service awards came in. That's the start of it. And as you know, it's progressed into a written format. And then this year, a little bit back to customer service, which is not a bad thing, just to keep our check on our passion there. So I've got some gold nuggets. I'm going to come back shortly and share those with you. But before that, I'd like to introduce somebody, Nick McCondick, who is a big town girl. She was spent a lot of time in Auckland, working for Genesis Energy for 10 years. The later part of that was working for Energy Online, which she headed up a group there that took sales from zilch through to over $125 million. So, in terms of what our businesses do, all due respect, that's not bad to earn. So, but consistently won awards in customer service, which actually the award levels went up as time went by. So I'm going to let her get on with it. Yes?
A's and B's.
Yes. Very important box to tick. Almost forgot. Thank you, guys. So the awards, the organisation committee went to you guys and said, what do you want to get from this? And it came back, I'd like a little bit more networking. We go to these groups and we sit next to each other and we don't get around a bit. So it's interesting. I watched you all come in and all sit next to your people you work with, so I do know. Put your hands up if you fall into that category. You're sitting by someone you work with. It's one thing Topol's good for is honesty. Just amongst yourselves, A's and B's. So look at your neighbour that you work with and call yourself A, B, and I see there's some maybe C's. So just call it A, B, C, if you like. Now, just a quick discussion. Right, good. Yep. Cool. Is that good? Everybody got a number? Anyone else? Can I have B's hold their hand up? B's or B's? Or B's? Every B. Shift to the aisle, please. Stand up and move out. Now, when you do this, just listen. When you move out, make sure you say, show the money to the next person you're moving past. Thank you. Good. Go on. Yeah, just
What do we do in the aisle? We find another
We
seat.
stand here, apparently.
We have to do we find another seat? Oh, we just find another
We
seat.
just sit somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's easy. That's easy. Let's try it in the aisle. Just go back to the sofa. We've got to move. What are the bins here?
Standing here.
Yeah, million.
There's some chairs down the back. I'll go help find seats,
How old are you?
She was desperate. I was delivering a juice to someone and she moved.
Everybody good? Just want to sit down?
Where did she go?
Nice one. Alright guys. Everybody got a seat? No? We've got spare seats. We've got a couple down here, a couple around the corner. Come around guys. Come around. Yep. There's a couple down the side. So just like to present a prize to Melissa from OPG. She was the last one to find a seat, apart from the guys that are happy there. She wins a volcanic coffee voucher, so she redeems that for some nice fresh coffee. So she, not finding a park too quickly, she needs a bit of spark. So there you go. Big welcome to Nick. Thank you.
Right guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm bloody nervous. It's quite a long time since I've stood up in front of crowds of this size. I've had so much rescue remedy, I think I might be drunk. Actually, I'm really blown away in the first session and this session how many people in this town, in this region, are coming along supporting this event, supporting the initiatives, because I'm guessing that what you all want to do is grow and develop the level of customer excellence delivered by the region. I'm absolutely blown away at how much support there is for that. On behalf of the directors and the team at Stretton's, I want to say how absolutely delighted we are to be involved in the Stella Awards for Excellence Customer Experience. Not only as sponsor, but being given the opportunity to be here tonight to share with you some thoughts and more importantly to hear some thoughts from you. Again, from the team at Stretton's, good luck to all the entrants in the awards and particularly to those in the best service trade team category. We look forward to giving one of the teams represented here tonight the award for that in just a few short weeks. So when Donna and Julie asked me if I wanted to be involved in this session, I went home and said to my hubby, what am I going to talk about for 20 minutes? And because he's a funny bugger and he has to be a comedian, he said to me, Nick, talk about yourself, you'll be there for 20 days. But in all honesty, when I actually sat back and thought about that, I thought he's right. I can't come here and tell you guys how to suck eggs. You're in there doing this stuff every single day. But what I can do with you is share with you some of the experiences, and there's only a couple, that I've had that really have defined how I look at excellent customer service. I can tell you what I know about customer service I haven't learnt from a textbook. It's not because I've got a degree. It's certainly not because I'm a chartered accountant. A few years ago, I made a really deliberate decision to start watching the people that surround me in life, both my working life and my professional life, and looking at what they did that I admired and respected that delivered exceptional outcomes. I know a good idea when I steal one. There's one person who's been incredibly influential for me in terms of delivering excellent customer service. That person's my mum, and for the people in the room that know my mum, you'll know exactly why I say that. What she taught me, first point's really, really logical. Being rude never achieved anything. Second thing, the customer's always right. Show of hands, who actually believes that? Who actually here thinks the customer's always right? Put to one side for a second the customers you have that have got some special features. But by and large, who thinks the customer's always right? Yeah, I hear what someone's saying as a philosophy. What we mean by that is the customer's perspective, being able to step around into their shoes and see things the way they see. That's what we mean by the customer's always right. However, by far and away, the most important thing my mum taught me, design every system, every process and every outcome for your business with your customer front and centre of mind. So a key point from all of that is every single one of you in this room, whether you're a business owner or whether you work in the business, you're here as a team, you all have people surrounding you that deliver exceptional outcomes. Steal a good idea when you see it. Okay, so this phrase, design all your business systems and processes and outcomes, keeping your customer front and centre of mind. It's a nice technical, theoretical kind of phrase. What do I mean by that? I'd like to share with you an example from when I worked at Energy Online. I could actually talk about Stretton's. Stretton's this year celebrates being in business for 60 years. 60 years chartered accountants and business advisors on the Central Plateau. Being a newcomer to that business, I've only been there 18 months of those 60 years, I can see that the foundation that that business is built on is excellent customer experience. However, tonight I'm not here doing a Stretton's sales pitch and I'm not peddling the Stretton's wear. My boss might quite like me too, Wayne. I'm going to talk about Energy Online because what I learned about excellent customer service in that organisation, it was a watershed moment for me. It was like somebody flicked on a light bulb, and it's really simple stuff. So if I can give you a bit of background about Energy Online. When I started there, the company had 115 customers earning $200,000 worth of revenue per annum. The team, not me, The team built that organisation to 70,000 customers earning $120 million year on year. It's quite a lot of money, right? The trick with the electricity industry, it's a fairly simple model. Most of you know, because you're rung right on dinner time by pesky telemarketers wanting you to change electricity retailer, it's a simple model. We require customers by outbound telesales. So one day, the really important people in that business, we sat round, we were discussing what strategies and what tactics that we would adopt to try and keep our customers. Because obviously, you acquire a customer, it's much better to keep that customer and have their repeat sales year on year without incurring more costs to acquire more customers to bring in more revenue. And I remember, this is the light bulb moment for me. I remember sitting in that meeting with very important people, and one of the managers, it wasn't even me, it's not even my idea, he said, why are we sitting here thinking we're the brains trust in this organisation? Why do we think we know what the customers want? He said, we need to go out there to the people on the front line, talking to the customer every day. We need them to tell us what the customers want, what they need and what they value. And I'll tell you, it doesn't even matter what those frontline staff came up with. I'm very happy to talk to any of you about the initiatives that they introduced. But us very important people went back to our offices and did our very important work, but we let the frontline, customer-facing people in that organisation design the outcomes that we knew our customers wanted, needed and valued. And I can tell you that I know they got it right, because today that organisation is still winning Customer Excellence Awards for satisfaction and great delivery. My point? You guys in this audience that are in customer-facing roles, from where I stand, you are the greatest asset that your organisation has. And to those of you in the room that are business owners, I'd say to you, don't make the mistake of thinking you're the brains trust in your organisation. Tap into that great asset that you've got. So, steal a good idea when you see one. Use your customer-facing staff, or if that's you, be involved, make suggestions, because you know what the customer wants. Right, so before we connect all the dots, I'm going to give you a model that I think explains the dollars in a business in really simple terms. I think accountants make money quite complex sometimes. That could be quite career limiting for me with two of my bosses sitting here. You know, it's the good stuff is the simple stuff that you remember time and time again, that you go back to over and over. And this isn't, again, not my idea. I can't take any credit for you. If any of you in the audience have read the E-Myth, you'll probably know where I'm heading with the model I'm about to share with you. But it's simple. And I use this model every single day in business. So just before we get into it, because you've said you want to mix and mingle, I'm going to ask you to turn around and talk to each other in small groups, because there's going to be a prize. Why am I the only one that's excited about prizes? I so wanted to do the show me the money! Yeah.
Show me the money.
Talk to each other and see if you can come up with the 4 types of money in a business. Go. Yep, that was me too. That's one of my special skills. Okay, throw at me some answers. Don't even be PC about it. What? And Wayne and Dan and anybody else from Stretton's or that is an accountant, you're not allowed to answer.
Income.
Income. Perfect. Assets can be converted to money, I agree with you, but they're not in my diagram. Turnover, income, sales, perfect, all the same sort of stuff.
Expenses.
Expenses I put as, but perfect, I put as a subset of sales. You've got to incur expenses to make your sales.
Debt.
Debt, cash is what you're talking about, yep.
Profit.
Profit.
Future earnings. Investments.
Yeah, okay, how about we pop the slide up? So once you've got this nailed, we're taking CVs at Stretton's for jobs. So let's talk about the 4 different types of money in a business that are all very separate but highly integrated. Sales. What your business, the income your business receives for selling its products and services. Quite straightforward. Profit. Not a dirty word. Absolutely essential to have a successful business. Sales, less the cost of running that business, of operating that business, equals profit. You guys, your wages and salaries in this category. But my view is, you may be one of the biggest expenses that your business has. You're also the greatest asset. What can you do with profit? You can invest it back in the business. The owner might reward themselves for the risk of running the business. You know, on behalf of the owners in this audience, running a business is no short work. You live and breathe it 24/7. There is absolutely no bloody escaping it. You deserve, as well as a fair salary and the expenses, you deserve to be rewarded for the risks that you take. Sometimes the profit can be used to reward the team. You might get a cash bonus at Christmas, you might get a gift. Next year you might get a pay rise. Okay, cash. Cash is what money does, not what money is. Curious thing about cash, it's there 1 minute, it's gone the next. My husband said to me, heck, you might be good with other people's money, but you're not very good with ours. I'm like, I'm great with ours. I know exactly how to spend it. So not only is it critical to know how much you're making and how you're making it, it's really important to know when you're going to get it. So I'd say 2 things about cash. Collect your debts shamelessly, because that is the only way your business will survive. Do not be afraid to call your customers on the day that their debts to you are due and ask them to pay you. Secondly, there was going to be one word, wasn't there, that I was going to trip over. Continuously look for ways to spend money better. And the last type of money in a business, equity, well, that's the financial value placed on the business, usually by a prospective buyer. So, what have I said? Copy a good idea when you see it to deliver exceptional outcomes. For the owners here, don't make the mistake of thinking you're the brains trust. To those of you in customer-facing roles, get involved, share what you know about what the customers want, need and value, because then you're going to have loyal customers that stay with the business, that repeatedly spend money with you. You're going to have repeat sales, repeat profit, repeat cash, successful business owner, successful business, usually happy team. Right. That's it from me. I'm going to hand you over to Sean now. Most of you know Sean really well. I can tell you, he is not only the beauty tonight, he's the brains also. Give Sean a warm welcome.
Thanks, Nick. I noticed you had a really good answer for one of your questions over in this corner, sir, for your cash answer there with the picture. Well done. I'll just refix this mic. Seems to be a bit of a task of mine. Another thing Nick alludes to there is collecting your debt. So I was just talking to the hairdresser mates down the back there, and sometimes I'd love to have a cash business like that where it all just flows in and they get the FCOS cards out and the money comes over and just be fantastic, right? Yeah, they know how to do it. But for those of us that run accounts, I've got another gorgeous volcanic coffee bag here for the person that can give me the best lie they got. G'day there, we're just clearing up a few accounts this afternoon and I noticed you're in arrears. What's a good story? Someone got one? Checks in mail, yeah, it's fairly typical, isn't it? Daughter's in hospital?
The bank took all my money. The bank took all my money.
The bank took all my money. Murray, BNZ. Thanks, Dev.
That's spent all on the printing.
So my little chat, and I'm going to pop it up right now. Thanks, Brock. Cheers. It's so simple. I'm going to put it. It's a one-pager, just like me, nice and simple. And I'm going to go over a few of these things with you. And I reckon between what Nick has told us this evening, and if you do this well, you make your $1 million. I reckon it's as simple as that. So let's focus. Well, let's go back, if you like, to the movie that we watched, and just the passion and the vitality involved in those actors, and how they must get up each morning and really grab themselves and send themselves in for a winning day doing this stuff right. So the first thing I've got there is walk in. So the door opens right at your workshop or your store or whatever. Somebody walks in. Let's just for a minute think we're customers. So choose your shops, countdown, pack and save. One of those. So imagine yourself, you're at the checkout, your fourth one back. You're 17 years old. Okay, so some of you that's quite difficult. So go back, that's all right. You have 2 litre Coke in your left hand, that's for your rums and your bourbons later on, and in your other hand you've got a nice big box of condoms. So there's a feeling, isn't it? Like, can you just visualise yourself? There's a feeling of being uncomfortable, isn't there? It's like, God, I just want this transaction to be over, and hide these things and then hopefully later on use them. So what I want you to do is whenever we walk into shops, and did you know this? Well, you will know because you're customers. When you walk into a shop, it's a bit like that Jaws themes plays, eh? It's so the door shuts behind you. Like shit. And there's a feeling of that uncomfortableness, isn't there? Like you're not totally comfortable. You're a bit. Wonder if I'll get served. Wonder what will happen. Whereas when you're in your own place, you're comfortable as you're in your space. It's really important to take that away from people. Take that fear away. So what better to do that than they bowl through your door and somebody says, "G'day, how are you?" You're serving someone at the counter and this person walks in. What about a quick? Be right with you. I'll get someone for you. Acknowledge them, and then the goes away. It just instantly goes away. You're fine. You're at Brock's place. You can go and look at some boats and some skis or whatever, and just relax. You know you've been looked after. That's simple, eh? But we don't do it that well. No, we really don't do it that well. Don't be, afraid to, be bold in your place. Inside your walls. Be bold. Be the, be the actor, if you like. Game on. Make people comfortable. Just looking. I'd like to have you guys turn to each other. Most of us have been in a situation retail-wise where you've either given an answer to just looking, or the shopkeeper's actually given you a good reply to that. So just with your new neighbour, just discuss for a second what happened. Was it a bad experience, or was there a good feedback to just looking if you gave it? Just for a minute. Thanks everyone. Had some real good discussion there, and something really interesting that the girls have brought to me in the front there is there seems to be a bit of an aversion to being asked that. Okay, so we've got to be careful. Number one, we've got to make sure we know they're in store and we acknowledge them. But they raise a good point too, is body language is really good. Try and read that a little bit and make a judgment on it. Sometimes it's good to do a flyby, you know. Are you happy there? You know, just, and you can almost be saying on the way, no, just looking back. It's, hey look, we've got specials over there, we've got denims there, we've got babies, you know, anything you need, just, you know, just do it like that, rather than someone may appear. You might judge your body language as being, well, we need a lot of attention here, so you all go running, you know, and you sort them out. So just, watch your body language so you don't aggravate them, but make sure they're asked, you know. So cool. Upsell. Upsell's a cool upsell. Sorry, I've missed one. Uncomfortable silence. So here's an interesting one. So wifey goes in lately to pick up a knit comb for my little girl. So it's a bit like that condom thing, isn't it? So she's standing there and the place is heaving with people. It was really, really busy, and the young attendant couldn't get, that she couldn't actually get to an FPOS. So wifey's got a card. Lady's there. They're doing the old. Once again, well, I'd like to get out of here. Kathy's, big enough to cope with that kind of thing. But the girl was melting. Like amazing. Most of us oldies kind of think, well, it is what it is. It's fine. But here's this girl, she's melting. So what about a nice opportunity to say, well, we're talking about hair, and we do understand that if you get those greaves in your hair, it's good to tie your hair up. So what about the 16,000 hair ties that you've got on this wall? Or how's your day going? What school does your girl go to? Don't be afraid to talk about the problem either. So manage yourself around those silences. Don't just and that almost leads into upsell, doesn't it? Because we sold some hair ties while we were talking about getting that hair up and neat and tidy. So upsell is important, man. You get bods in and whatever they've bought, and then guys are dicks. They'll go into places and buy something without get home. Right, I love. I'm ready to go out. And did you get some new jocks? And it's like, oh, that's right, I forgot. But an attentive sales clerk would actually make sure, hey, look, what are your skitters like? They got holes in them. We could sort that out. And a guy, maybe he spent $700 on a suit, and he'll easily fork out for those add-ons, and it helps him because he doesn't get in this shit with his wife. So why wouldn't you? I've got more coffee, last coffee, on an upsell story. I want a really good upsell story. What did they try and buy? What did you send them out with? Have we got one? Yes?
I shaved those hair up to complete number 0 and I started with wax.
Mate. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm actually upgrading that price to $20. Right. What's that? Oh, I didn't hear the answer? So David's a hairdresser, very good one, down Spa Road. Guy goes in, gets a 0, buys a wax. That's ice to Eskimos, eh? Top man, well done. Very, very cool. Upsell, Sean Venel over Christmas time, walking through 277 Mall up in Newmarket. Walking along there, minding his own business. Don't buy things from out of town because you buy it locally. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. Don't go online because I buy it here. Anyone sort of loose end. My family were doing things and that, walking, and then this gorgeous Israeli girl pops out and she goes, hello, and pop up. Well, listen to this. Hold the line. Don't miss this. So Sean gets taken over to a little store. Sit down. What's your name, Sean? And she reaches, she gets my hand. So my hand's out. Oh, you're dry. Yeah, you're hard work. Yeah, you're hard work. And she gets this little bottle of scrub. Gets a little bowl out, warm water, and pretty comfortable. And she puts the scrub on. All the stuff started coming. All this old ink and stuff starts coming out of my hands. And the goo's going in there. Wow. And she brings out the dead right product to to fix it. I'm thinking, well, obviously I've got dirty hands, I need this stuff. And she rubs it in, and place that she cleaned prior, place she didn't. I'm feeling the difference. Wow, I really need that. So yeah, that's one. Has your wife got oily skin, or has she got, And so no, my wife's not greasy. So so I picked the moderate. She's got moderate, like middle skin, not dry enough. So anyway, but there was something for that. $475 later. I left 277. It's a true story. It happened over Christmas, and then I had this person saying to me, you didn't spend this locally, what's wrong with you, clown? So anyway, but the message is, a guy goes into a shop, or a girl, without the thought of buying that, and buys it. You guys in retail, you got stuff coming at you from online, from all sorts of directions that is killing retail, and we've only just started. Convert the guy. Like it's a bit of a joke, but man, it happened. But isn't that cool? So I'm walking downtown the other day, and walked past a young girl. She's standing up front. She's a a retail person from in the shop. She's out there enjoying a bit of sun, looking around, and sort of avoided me. And what could she have done to get me in her store? And even said hello. Like, once again, that thing about that space. It's your space. It's your footpath. You own it. Get confident about drawing people in and making the sale. Very, very cool. Get confident. Little bit of just that. That's a housekeeping one for me. Is the complaints. So we've all been taken apart at reception. Well, I have anyway. About something that went wrong or inconvenienced somebody, or the deadline wasn't, and it's a pretty uncomfortable thing, isn't it? We know what it's like. Someone's not happy with the white, the sheets aren't right, or the dress doesn't fit, and you said it did this and it doesn't. Judge it fairly early on. You might see it coming. You might be able to just take the whole thing to another room. Get it out of the, nothing worse. You're at the counter, and then you're getting this boring out, and then the three of your favourite customers come in. It's like, is this the way it is? Where it's a 1 in a million, take them away, diffuse it fairly quickly, and listen. Let's. I read a book once that said you will never win an argument. You never win an argument. So we've all argued at home. So get out of an argument. Don't go there. You think you won, you've said the last word and that, you turn around and then, arsehole's been written across your back. Always. No one really is going to go, yeah, what a valid point. God, he's so intelligent, that guy. He's just, I love him. Like, wanker, whatever. You never win. So don't go there, don't argue, don't fuel it. And look after, if you're an owner, look after your staff in this situation. If you're a young staff member that can't cope with that kind of thing, or you're an old staff member that can't cope, identify it early and say, look, Mr. Jones or whatever, can I get somebody that can deal with this? Because we can't, sometimes we probably feel ourselves we can't deal with it, in particular cases, and go out the back and run for the hills. So just watch how that goes, because it can really inflame things. It can upset staff and get things going really, really wobbly. So that's probably, I think we might just have a little discussion on that about, and that's the last one, about a complaint that was happened and whether or not it was handled well between you guys. So just turn to your neighbours and just have a 2-minute discussion there. Thank you. Don't want to dwell too long on the negative, so complaints a bit negative, but there's a lot of good feedback that can come out of that. So I'm just about done. Congratulations, you have won a 250 gram bag of Taupo roasted, fresh, fabulous, volcanic coffee. Who, and this is going to be quick fire, you're going to have to be quick. Who has been to every one of these?
Me.
That through there. Alex. Is it you? Oh, is it you? Sorry. Well done. Thanks, Don. I was looking at not one eye. Let me deal with this complaint.
Right. So I do hope you enjoyed this evening. There's a few little housekeeping things to go through. First of all, can't hear me. Let's try that. Okay. Sponsors. We have a whole lot of sponsors, and without them, this wouldn't be possible. You see some of their banners around here. I need to point out one banner because people might not have seen it, but around the corner is a Stella Artois banner, which came from Lime Breweries, and they gave us a huge amount of Stella Artois and Wither Hills wine. We haven't mentioned them yet, so I want to give them an extra big push tonight. All right, because without them we wouldn't be drinking as much beer and wine as we are. So thank you to Lime Breweries. So I'm the one who's always emailing you guys about, please RSVP, you haven't done so, can you please do so? So I'm going to try and save us a little bit of that this time, because I see most people tend to come back to the same session at the next workshop. So we're going to see if this works. I'm going to book all of you back in for session 2 on our next workshop. I'm still going to send you an email telling you I've done this. If you don't want to come to that session, then you can email me and let me know, and that might save me like 120 emails, which would be great. So we're going to give that a shot. So in workshop number 4, just so you know, is Great Lake Taupo Uncut, and that's where we're going to hear about the real magic that makes our region tick. Next thing I need to tell you about Pub Quiz. So that's going to be coming up in July, 22nd of July, off the top of my head. And that is not going to be who was the President of the United States in 1948. Okay, it is going to be stuff from these workshops. So hopefully you're paying attention, taking notes. Remember that you can go and look at the webinar to remind yourself. All right, so that whole quiz will be questions from these workshops. Mystery shopping. You should always be on your A game, and I'm sure all of you are. We said we were going to start that on the 3rd of June, and surprise, we have not. And the reason being, somebody's like, we already saw the mystery shopper. They were so in my shop. They weren't. I wonder who that was. We decided it was kind of unfair to mystery shop you before we'd finished the series of workshops, because some of the things we're going to be looking for are some of the things we're talking about in the workshops. So it's not fair to judge you on that when we haven't told you what that is yet. Okay, so those mystery shop forms are actually going to go up on the website come Monday. So you can actually see what's there, so you're ready, that you're talking about it with your team, which is really where the magic is happening anyway. Is that everything? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, I'm on it. Okay, why are we running the Stella Awards? What is...
People spend money in Taupo.
Nice, thank you. So people spend money in Taupo, absolutely. We want more people coming to our district, spending money, dining, shopping, investing, moving here. We will welcome new people. Aucklanders, come on down with your money and spend it. Okay, so just to remind ourselves of the bigger picture, and if we deliver a stellar experience to every single person who walks in our business, then the result will be businesses thriving, jobs that are growing, people getting paid more, enjoying the benefits of more money. So that's the big picture. So take away tonight something. Remember one thing, whether it was Nick's wisdom or Sean's or something that someone beside you has shared, but make a point of remembering and doing one thing differently as a result of tonight. We have some more prizes, but not for you. Thank you, Nick and Sean. If you'd like to come up and be awarded a lovely bottle of wine, and if we could have a little clap for our fabulous presenters. Thanks everyone, and we will see you on the 1st of July, Great Lake Taupo Uncut. Good night.
Donna.